Hi there YouTube and welcome back. So I left you last time with the idea that I was going to be running an upper lower split, and that is what the plan was. Recover, let some niggles air out, so I feel good to get back into a bit more specific powerlifting split. Well, that didn't last. That lasted all of 2 days and I was just like, I just can't cope not squatting, benching and deadlifting on a reasonably frequent basis. So the upper lower split has gone. Obviously, you've got to always consider enjoyability of a session. There's nothing worse going into a session thinking just not looking forward to it, and that's what happened on my upper session. I was like, well, an upper session and it means I get to bench press, yay, but I was like, I really want to squat and or deadlift, and it just wasn't there. So I've gone into a 4-day powerlifting split. Actually, very similar split to what I had 4 or 5 months ago when I first started becoming more specific with my powerlifting training. So that is how I am running things at the moment. Obviously, still looking to give this shoulder a little bit of recovery because it was giving me some niggles. It feels really, really good now, which is great, and hopefully it won't start to play up or aggravate me for a little while. As I rebuild volume, because beyond resting the niggles, my biggest point was to rebuild volume after comp. So just a bit of recap for those that don't know, or maybe people who do it different to me, but the way I run it and the way I see that a lot of successful powerlifters also run their training is as you come to a comp, you need your intensity at its highest, volume tapering down, intensity is high. So you're performing a lot of singles, doubles and triples around that 90% mark, give or take a little bit. But you're not doing a lot of it. You've probably dropped a lot of accessory work and your main focus is very much on those 3 big lifts. So what I'm doing now is rebuilding that, because you have all that focus on that intensity, you then taper down. So then intensity is down and volume is also down. So the fatigue can dissipate, so your recovery is best on comp day, which is great. It's what you've got to do if you want your performance to be the best it can be. But then we need to regain some of that volume, because it's that volume, it's those reps and the sets that lay down the work in order to then see better results in the long term. So I know I've got to build that volume up. I know that is very much where the work is done. Intensity blocks and tapers just kind of express the work that has been done. So I'm building up into a volume block. So it's a couple of intro blocks. Intro weeks. So 1 or 2 weeks just working shy of where I want to be for this training block. So the training block is planned out. I'm removing about 1 set and working about 10%, 5 to 10% lower than what I would be, and I'm probably a set down. I think I said that. And I'm also working probably with the lower rep range, especially on things that are wave loaded. So I will just use these next 2 weeks as like a stepping stone to get me there. So for example, if a lift is say at 75%, week 1 I'll probably do 65%, week 2 of the intro I will do 70%, and then come the first week of the full training block, I will then be at 75% for that lift. If it was, say, across 6 to 8 reps, I would be using the lower reps. So I'm just building volume up. It's not where I want it to be, but it's a lot more than where it was coming down into competition. So that's how training has gone. How has nutrition gone? Well, considering a couple of reasons. I'm about 194 pound, which meant I was 87.1 kilos on comp day, which makes you think, right, well, I'm kind of in the middle, slightly towards the lower end of the 93s. I'm a light 93. I'm not a big 93. So it does make me think that in time I will be probably more competitive as an 83 kilo lifter. And there's other factors that was making me think about a cut. So my girlfriend is also 4 weeks out from her competition. She's in a bikini comp. She's 4 weeks out, so obviously dieting is very easy when your partner is also dieting. I want to take a very aggressive approach to this. I think I could comfortably pull off 10 pound in about 4 weeks. 2.5 pound is doable for somebody of my weight, and I know I can just flick the switch, get into diet head, pull it off very aggressively to a point that I don't think performance would be affected, although I probably won't know because I am trying to regain. And also, I've got a holiday coming up in the middle of November. So that was another consideration. Obviously, nobody wants to go on holiday being a complete and utter fluff ball. Only once have I been on holiday where I've been in shape. Another time I was 2 weeks post-show from a bodybuilding comp. That was not a smart move. I do not advise anybody to do that. At least try and give yourself a bit of a break if you're in a bodybuilding comp and then go to an all-inclusive. Yeah, it's going to result pretty bad. So I've got that in November, so oh, well, that'll be a nice little tidy up, and then I can slowly gain up from there. And also, I am the furthest point away now from any comp that I do in the future, which I think will be January time to qualify. And obviously the ultimate goal is Nationals. And therefore, for Nationals, I need to have a total that's respectable. I don't want to go if my total's not respectable. I want around that 700 kilo mark. That's like my ultimate goal over the next 12 months, is like a 700 kilo total. And I'd love to put that down on a national platform. So that's the goal. And because of that goal, that is the 100% reason, after a good couple of talks with some guys who snapped me out of this mini cup phase, it's just not progressive. For me to diet down and then return back to where I am currently, it's just not going to get me anywhere. I might as well stay here and reap the rewards and the progress in the gym and not have to worry about recovery or performance being affected. So I'm not going to mini cut. So sorry for all those people who thought I was going to get semi-shredded. I'm not. I am going to just focus on just pushing up some of those numbers and getting to that 700 kilo total. Every time I say 700 kilo total, it feels so fucking big and like so far away. So yeah, that's why I paused there. So that's the goal. And then once I've got that, maybe I'll consider about cutting or dieting and being more competitive in a lighter weight category. Because I can't see myself even pushing the food how I was pre-comp. I just cannot see me like gaining masses and masses. I was hitting 4,000 calories and struggling to hit 194 pound. And that's like, and I've not broke out of that 194 pound since comp either. So I think I've got lots and lots of room to grow. Maybe I will be closer to the top end of the 93s come later in the year, but I've got loads of room to just grow and push up and become stronger. I just want my time spent to be productive rather than kind of sitting there and just spinning my wheels for potentially could be like 2-3 months before I get back to where I am now. So the mini cut is off. So I'm going to leave you with a load of training footage. So this here is just some of the tail end of last week's training. And yeah, you've got a good little mix in there and some variations on some of the bigger lifts. Thank you very much for watching, people. If you've got any questions, drop them below in the comments and I will get back to you. And in the meantime, I will catch up with you again next week.